Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, then run it back.
Happy Monday. Welcome to Run It Back. Okay, Chandler, okay, full disclosure.
Yeah, I told you.
Full disclosure. When we were getting our stuff all set up, I mean, I don't know why I look like a cloud, but Chandler looked like a big red lobster. So I don't know what you did in the last 48 seconds.
I FaceTimed her because I'm like, dude, I'm not that sunburned. And then I come on here and I looked horrendous. I don't know what happened. This laptop.
I wasn't going to get through it. Okay, the good. Well, we did. Lou looks perfect. Chandler, just tell Lou his skin is perfect as always.
Whatever,
God, we hate you so much. We hate you. Okay, that being said, we do have a lot of basketball to get to. Bobby Portis might be joining us later, but I do know they flew back, and so there might be some time stuff going on there. But we are going to start with some Spurs Timberwolves. And Ant, how could you? How could you do this to us, Anthony Edwards? Big game winner. They were down 19, by the way. Much respect. 104-103 win for Minnesota. He did finish with 23 points. 9 of those came in the fourth. Dante DiVincenzo with 19, 9, and 7. And Wemby had 29, 10 of 10 from the free throw line, 7 rebounds, and he did play 27 minutes. I can't even be mad at him. God, I hate that. Lou, we love him here. We are a pro Anthony Edwards show. There were MVP chants, obviously, in the building last night as a result of that game. We don't really talk about him, though, when we are talking MVP, and certainly not top 5. Should he be?
He's earned the right. He's earned the right. You know, even Jaylen Brown, Jalen Brunson, all of those guys, they've earned the right to be in that conversation with the way that they've played this year. And talking about Anthony Edwards, the adjustments that he's made from the beginning of this season to where they are now. You could tell he's back in attack mode. You could tell he's going downhill, trying to put as much pressure as he can on the rim. And I think that's where his strong suits are. That's what fits his game. Remember last season when he kind of fell in love with the three, right? He was shooting, upwards of 8 to 10 3-pointers a game, and he was living and dying by that three-point line. And I kept saying, I think he's just trying to add something to his bag. I think he's trying to add that to his bag. Now he comes back in this season, and he's back in attack mode and shooting 50% from the field as a guy who we've gotten accustomed to kind of making him a jump shooter or a three-point shooter. And then he comes back this season and he makes adjustments again. He beat those guys last night inside of the three-point line by attacking, by putting pressure on Wemby at the rim, by putting pressure on the rest of their defense at the rim. So he's earned the right to be a part of this MVP conversation just as much as anybody. You look at his numbers, you look at Wemby numbers, and a few of those other guys, they're all identical. You know, whether it's rebounds, that may sway Wemby's way, but assists and points, they're going to sway Anthony Edwards' way. So he's done everything he can to put himself in that conversation. So I say, why not?
Yeah, listen, he's a long shot to win MVP, but with the recent struggles of the Thunder and with Jokic going down, it feels like there's a little bit of an opportunity here, and the Timberwolves are starting to figure it out, and Lou touched on it. Last year, I feel like he settled a lot. He took a lot of outside, tough, contested, long twos, a lot of early threes. He's not doing that this year. He's mixing it up. He's getting into paint. He's getting to the free throw line, shooting 40% from three and 50 from the field. With a guy that takes the amount of shots and the usage rate that he has, you'll take that all day long. And he's giving it his all on the other end. He's one of their best defenders, one of the best two-way players in the league, averaging over a steal a game. This kid can do it all, and this team is a top 10 offense. They're a top 10 defense. They're starting to play their best basketball, and they're obviously led by this dude who's been doing it for years, and now he's doing it in a more efficient, mature way, and it's showing.
Yeah, he's tied in the odds there with Jalen Brunson, that plus 7,500. So it'll be kind of curious. It's crazy, too, that Jokic is like basically probably not going to qualify. So that changes the whole. I know, that is a bummer. We're getting ripped off. It's a bummer Boogie's not here for this next one because I almost feel like we should call him just to get his opinion on the Rudy Gobert situation from last night. But he did get his 5th flagrant of the season, which is crazy. We're not even at the halfway point. He does have enough points technically to be suspended for Tuesday's game unless, of course, they downgrade that bad boy. Chandler, Rudy Gobert a dirty player?
I mean, 5 flagrant fouls is not awesome for the resume. But
hard not to say, right?
yeah. Like if this were other players, I think we would easily tag them as dirty, which we have before. And again, I think he's, with the Defensive Player of the Year's awards he's got, and with the, I feel like all the trash talking he gets, I feel like he's almost embraced this role. And I feel like we've been poking Rudy Gobert for years. and he feels that, and he doesn't want to be labeled as this soft big. So now he's almost taking it out in a different way. I know Rudy. I love Rudy. He's a great dude. But this is getting a little much, though. When you start talking about 5 flagrant fouls, you could potentially hurt somebody and end their season. Even like that with the Zaza foot thing, that's now a flagrant foul. But when I think flagrant foul, I think of like a dirty elbow. I think of taking someone's legs out. I don't think about a closeout where you put your leg under. So I don't find that to be the dirtiest play, although it has ended people's seasons and in playoff runs. But he's on a slippery slope right here. But again, I think that comes with the territory of kind of everybody really blasting him and coming at him every season, all season long.
Yeah, I don't love it. That last particular one, it depends on if you want to debate whether that's a dirty play or not. That's a gray area for me when it comes to letting players land, because we all have the antics, and it's just a weird thing to be involved in when they're landing. Now, when it comes to like elbows and pushing and shoving and messing guys up, we're getting in a different category of dirty. And for Rudy Gobert to be kind of heralded as a rim protector, as a defensive-minded guy, why are you fouling so much? And why are you fouling so hard? You should be able to be the guy that protects the rim cleanly and to be able to do it without the 5 flagrant fouls that you've had this season. So to be able to be suspended so early on in the season because of technical fouls and flagrants, that's never heard of. Usually guys start getting in trouble for this 60, 70 games in, not before the All-Star break. So yeah, that's the concerning part of, like, where do you go from here? If you're doing all of this before All-Star break, what room do you have to even defend or even try to, be a hard-nosed defender like he's trying to be? And Chandler said it right. Like, he's been talked about, and I don't want to use the phrase picked on, because, he's a 7-footer. It's almost impossible to pick on somebody that size, but he's got some fight back in his system, right? Like, at this point, he's just trying to fight back some of the narratives and some of the trash that's being talked about him. But he's put himself in a bad position with being able to be suspended and not available for this basketball team. That's going to be hard for them, especially in the run that they're in. Being a 4th-place team, being a top 10 defense, you're going to need Rudy Gobert on the floor. So him to not be available because of this, it's unacceptable.
Yeah, and
this won't help the narrative if that's what happens here.
But like him or hate him, and I also think we look at Rudy Gobert based on that trade that acquired him, and it was a lot. And people always talk about how much they had to give up. It's one of the worst trades ever. And I think you kind of you pair that with Rudy Gobert's play and with the defensive players of years, and I just think. Exactly. So I think there's expectation for him. And like Lou said, the run they're on, like him, hate him, however you feel about him, he is their starting center. He is the anchor on that defense, and he is a huge part of why they are a top 10, top 5 defense in the NBA. So they need him to be available. And when you start doing things like this and you go down that road, it's only going to hurt you in the long run.
Yeah, because in years past, we have crushed Draymond Green for his antics that would make him unavailable for his team when they needed him. So if that's what ends up happening so early on, Harper and Castle, it's been an interesting little stretch for these guys. Like, they did struggle last night. Afterwards, Mitch Johnson said that's basically life when you're 21 and 19. They're gonna figure it out. But Lou, because the Spurs are so seemingly ahead of schedule, and you start to look ahead at a 21 and a 19-year-old, if things start coming down to the wire as the season goes on, is that going to end up being a bigger problem, say, postseason time?
Absolutely. First of all, we shouldn't even be worried about what expectations we have for them in the postseason. Again, that we always use the All-Star break as our somewhat of a halfway point. And as an anchor, and where they are in their careers and where San Antonio is as a team right now, we shouldn't be concerned with the way that they're playing. Those guys have hit a wall. And trust me, they're not the only 2 young guys or even veteran guys at this stage of the season that's hitting that wall. Everybody is dying for that break right now. You're starting to get into the dog days of the season, right? You're starting to get into those days where the schedule is starting to get on you. The travel is starting to get on you. You're trying to make adjustments. You're fresh out of the holiday season. You're fresh out of Christmas. You're fresh out of New Year's. You have so many different things going on that you have to manage as a player. And I'm not making an excuse for these young guys. I'm simply saying that this isn't something that's a bigger issue than not. Now, if they go on a 3-4 month run where you start to see these zeros and these 2 points and these 2 4-11s, then we'll start having a different conversation. But everybody is going to go through their struggles, especially a 19-year-old and a 21-year-old who has so much pressure on them to be successful. Because, like you just said, they're completely ahead of schedule, right? And when you're standing next to a Victor Wembanyama, there is going to be a lot of expectation and a lot of pressure. And sometimes you're going to fall short of those. That's part of the season. Nobody is going to play well for the entirety of the season. And if they do, that's what separates them from everybody else. That's why you have a small group of 4 to 5 to 6 guys in an MVP conversation. Not everybody can't do it. And especially your young shooting guard and your young point guard and these young guys that are still trying to understand what the league is about, going through the rigors of a schedule, going through the rigors of having a different expectation that you probably had before you start playing next to somebody like that, before your team start having the success that they're having. So I don't think this is a bigger issue, and we definitely shouldn't be concerned with what they look like in the playoffs. For these guys, they should take it one game at a time, try to get a layup, try to get something early in the game to kind of break the ice, get the lid off of the rim, and just try to play better. And even if you can't score the basketball, just affect winning in a positive manner. You know, whether that's going to be on the defensive end, whether that's going to be hustle plays or just encouraging your teammates or just being positive energy to be around. Scoring isn't the end all be all. Those guys will be all right, but they're all going through their struggles. It's fair to criticize that, but to worry about the long run right now, we'll be out of pocket to do that.
Yeah, and I think both these guys are great. They're going to be really, really good players for years to come, especially Castle. When offense, it doesn't determine his game elsewhere. You know what I mean? Like, even if he's struggling 2 for 11 last night, he is still clamping. He is still playing so hard. He's still getting on the floor. He's still getting 4 or 5 assists, 4 or 5 rebounds. Harper has that same potential and capability to do that, where they shouldn't hang their head if shots aren't going. That's going to happen. That happens to everybody, especially young guys. Everyone's going to go through these shooting woes, these struggles, cold streaks, whatever you want to call it. They're going to do that. But the fact that they are so young and you don't see that alter the rest of their game is super impressive. So I kind of take a positive from a negative out of this, to know that they know their value is elsewhere. Harper can still be that setup guy that can go in there, get out in transition, make the game easier for everybody else when his shot isn't falling. And Castle is going to guard the best perimeter scorer on the other team and kind of be that versatile player who can go get offensive rebounds, who can get in passing lanes and get steals. So you don't ever want to see 2 for 11 and 0 for 5, but that's not who these guys are. They're such versatile two-way players where that shouldn't matter and that shouldn't alter the way that they impact the game each night.
Got some good poker faces already at such a young age. Guys, I've been waiting to get to this next story this whole time. I've just been waiting all weekend. I love it so much. Dennis Schroder suspended 3 games Saturday for confronting and attempting to strike Luka Doncic after the Kings lost to the Lakers back on December 28th. They jawed at each other. You can see it all here. That's Luka basically telling him, you should have signed that contract, which of course is in reference to that 4-year, $82 million that he turned down way back when. He also commented under the Shams, shout out, IG post, attempting, in quotation marks. Chandler, I just love the visual that is in my mind of what this is.
What?
I know.
I don't
so does that mean I
understand.
did make contact, or like what is that?
That means I slapped the shit out of him, and then it's
Yeah!
funny that you hey,
okay, take it away.
What I don't understand is it's 2026. There's
Correct.
no video evidence. There's no camera. There's got to be somebody that's going to leak this video.
No, man. No video.
What do you mean there's no video, Lou?
Listen, this shout out to Dennis. Listen, if you were sick around this league long enough, you know the soft spots in the arenas. You know where you could kind of get away with some things. If you got a genuine problem with somebody, there are some soft spots to get this done. And if you got it on your chest, like it looks like Schroder did, and he put hands on Luka, I don't want to put a lot of gas on it because it's a weeks old story. But it's scenarios to do that, and I'm hearing he found it. So, you know, that's
nice.
This would be such a bigger story if we could actually see the video of it. Like the
You
Draymond
just
Green.
want to see the video.
You live in that,
But think
you
about
live in
it.
that
The
world.
Draymond
now,
Green
yeah.
punching Jordan Poole thing, it wouldn't have been as bad if he just heard he punched him in practice one day. But the fact that we saw him
Nothing's
knock
bad.
it out, that's
Exactly.
bad.
Oh no, it's always worse.
That's why. But this happened. This happened a while ago. Like this is
that's what's crazy.
That happened a while ago. The only video that we have to even support this is them going back and forth during the game. But other than that, we don't have video of it. I'm glad that we don't have video of it, because every once in a while you got to get some straightening. I don't know nothing past just seeing those guys talk on the floor. But I like the fact that somebody actually did something that they said they was gonna do. I enjoyed that part of it. I don't care that it was Luka. I don't care that it was Schroder. I care that it was a man that said, "I'm gonna stand on this," and he's on it. That's that on that.
Hold on. Can I ask a question? Because it's like been almost 2 weeks now. Does that mean someone tattled? Like, why is this just now coming to light? So did Luka tattle? Here's what I want to get. Did Luka tattle?
No, I think there was an investigation launched, because obviously when it's a Luka and it's a Schroder, they're never going to be alone, right? Like, there's places for this to happen, this confrontation to happen, that won't be filmed, but they're never alone. Usually if Luka is walking to the team bus or something, there's somebody of security or a team that's probably 9 times out of 10 that's walking with him to make sure he get there safely. So I'm sure there were witnesses. I'm sure there was other people involved. And, we love a good story. We love to tell somebody what we saw and things of that nature. So at that point, it became the phone conversation where everybody is telling everybody, and it got out. An investigation was launched, and Schroder was asked about it. I think he denied it. I think some people ratted him out, and that's how this thing got legs. That's how we got here.
I'll tell you this: you don't get suspended 3 games with no proof unless there's proof.
You don't get suspended 3 games for an attempt. I tell you that.
There was contact, there was a slap, a punch, there was something for you to get, and there was someone.
Do you think it was open hand, like soap opera slap, or like?
Listen, the whole Houston Rockets team tried to get in our locker room one time when I was with the Clippers. Nobody got suspended. That was an attempt.
Good point.
That was an attempt. So listen, if somebody actually puts hands on somebody else and earn a 3-game suspension, there was some fireworks. There was some furniture moving.
By the way, the part of the suspension is obviously kicked in because they do play each other tonight, so that would have been a little bit awesome. But we don't get to see that.
Find those soft spots again in the locker room.
I just love that he's scouting it out. He's like, I've scouted it out. I know exactly where I need to stand. Is there anything that anyone, like, what's the closest you've come to attempting contact with someone? Like, what'd they say to you? Or is there something?
That's never been my brand. I never had those issues. I've went viral a couple of times for cursing out referees, but once you get kicked out of the game, you're gonna get your money's worth. Other than that, I've had no real confrontation.
Yeah, I've been in like a bar fight. I've never been in a fight in the NBA. So
who's picking on you in a bar? You're tall.
You can't fight in the league. It's too expensive. It ain't worth.
Yeah, it's again this, and it's also, this is Luka. This isn't just an ordinary player. It's talking about a mega superstar in LA against a known kind of pesky, agitating guy in Schroder. Like, I'll tell you this: someone saw something enough for him to get suspended 3 games. That's all I'm gonna say. So there
someone
was definitely
snitched, which I don't love.
1,000%.
Yeah, I don't like that part. But I also think, like, Luka does talk, and Schroder should have signed that contract. Like, all of this is really good stuff.
Listen, neither one of these guys have made public statements about it, except Schroder with the attention in the comments. So I respect that part of it. Leave private matters private, and that's what it is.
And also, Schroder, he already got the suspension, so he just wanted to make it known that attempting with the crying face means.
Great point.
Yeah.
I hit him.
I think he wants his credit for his slap.
Yeah, he wants.
As he should. Yeah, because attempting seems weak. Like, I can't believe I'm condoning all this, but I love every single damn thing about it. So here we are. Here we go. It's official over the weekend as well. Grizzlies putting it out there. They are entertaining a Ja Morant trade. By the way, they get to play in Berlin and New York the next. I just love that. But Shams, again, shout out, reporting that, offers are being entertained to move him ahead of the February 5th trade deadline. Draft picks, young players seems to be where their priorities lie. He is averaging 19 a game when he plays. Lou, we just went through the Trae Young thing. They just moved him to Washington, and all the talk was, should have done it earlier. I'm wondering if you're looking at this Ja Morant situation and thinking this feels very deja vu.
No, not to me. In my opinion, I think it's different because the scenarios are different. Memphis is looking at this as they should individually as an organization. So I don't think you compare it to Trae Young. I think now that Trae Young has been traded and he's off the board, there becomes a domino effect now. Now that that's happened, everybody else can start looking around and saying, okay, well, let's see what our options are, and let's see what choices we need to make to move forward for our organization as a whole. And so I don't know. Ja's not having his best season in the world, but he's going to go out there. If he goes in the trade market, like they're saying that they're entertaining some conversations, he's going to be a valuable player. He's going to be a valuable piece. But Memphis is stuck on draft picks. I think Atlanta was at a place where they knew it was time for a fresh start for them, and it was a fresh start time for Trae Young, and they didn't really do a lot of due diligence about looking around the league and things of that nature, and it looked like they jumped at the first thing that came to them. Memphis is kind of in a different scenario. They have Jaren Jackson, and they feel like he can be a cornerstone. The city and the fan base probably feels a little differently about that. That's a conversation that they can have, but when it comes to Ja Morant, I just think the scenario is different. And I think Memphis is going to be a lot more patient in trying to get the value that they feel like they deserve for a player like Ja Morant. So I think the scenarios are completely different. They got a lot of time to figure that out. But to start having those conversations now, they give themselves an ample amount of time to be patient and see what's out there for them and see if they can get the most bang for their buck.
Yeah, the Hawks still think that they can win more now by moving off Trae Young and build around Jalen Johnson and bring in a CJ McCollum. The Grizzlies are almost going straight tank rebuild mode if they want to get off Ja Morant and try and get as many picks as possible. Now, the trade with Trae Young definitely didn't do him any favors with his value because they're kind of similar type value guys, which I think Trae Young's even might be a little higher at this point with all the stuff that Ja Morant's been through. So I don't know what that's going to look like or what you can possibly get back for Ja Morant, because all the reports are there's not that much interest. All the reports are that people don't want to deal with all the off-the-court stuff, and not to mention he's been very hurt. His numbers are all the way down. He's only played 18 games this year, so he hasn't been able to find a way on the floor, which is sad because we all know when he's on the floor, man, he is one of the best players in the NBA. He is one of the most exciting, fun, entertaining players in the NBA. So we want Ja Morant on the court. We want him healthy, and he just hasn't been able to figure out a way to do that. So I don't think the Trae Young trade definitely didn't do him any favors, but I think the Grizzlies, like Lou said, I think they'll be more patient here. I think they want to kind of, if they're going to get off him, they want to make their future brighter and kind of start building around the Jaren Jackson post-Ja Morant era. Trae Young and the Hawks, that's a different situation. The Hawks feel like they got better. The Hawks feel like they could still make a playoff push this season. So they are completely two different situations, but Ja Morant's dug himself a deep, deep hole now, and a lot of teams aren't even excited at the opportunity that he's in trade rumors, honestly, which is crazy because he's so talented.
It's a really quick drop. He's never played over 67 games. Lou, I'm going to start with you on this one because I think the story, obviously we have hindsight now, and there's going to be some revisionist history, but the greatest that we've ever spoken on Ja almost felt like when he got himself suspended, and we were all just sort of like wishful thinking, like, this kid could be the face of the league. So now I'm wondering, was he a superstar the whole time? Did we want him to be a superstar? Like, what tier have you been putting Ja on?
He is, but he's going through it. He's going through it. That's the nature of the beast. Sometimes guys go through it. You have scenarios where, you put yourself in a position to be criticized for things that you do off the court. And he did that, and he accepted responsibility somewhat for his actions, and he moved on. And to his credit, it's been quite a while since we've talked about anything with Ja Morant and off-court issues. Now the issue is his availability, him being available to play basketball at the level that we've been spoiled to see him play. Even I remember him making the comment that he was going to slow down dunking a little bit because he wanted to evolve his game. I think that came from the injuries and some of the things that he was dealing with. The back stuff and all of that. He had a lot of different issues when it comes to injuries, right? So I still feel like he's a superstar caliber player. I think a fresh start is much needed. I think it's time for him to get out of Memphis like it is for Trae. Like, look how excited Trae Young looks with the Washington Wizards. No, seriously.
I agree.
Happy. Like, he looks genuinely happy to be in a new environment, get a breath of fresh air, a new start, to have an opportunity to be able to build something from ground up with the Washington Wizards who has their fair share of struggles, right? he looks happy to be there. I think that type of reset can do amazing things. It can do numbers for Ja Morant. You put him somewhere where he's excited and he's happy. He gets a fresh start to be around some new energy with an expectation level that's not so shadowy and cloudy around him. You know, he's had some issues off of the court in Memphis. Send him somewhere else that he can get that fresh start where he can kind of take some of that pressure off of his shoulders and have an opportunity to restart his career. But I do think he's still a superstar caliber player. Hasn't shown it in recent history, that's fair to say, but I think it's still there. I think he's young enough to be able to get back in that conversation.
Yeah, I think he learned the hard way that he was a superstar. He is a superstar, but talent can only get you so far. And with that superstar role, there comes responsibilities, and that's your production on the court, and that's how you act outside of that facility in your community. And then he's made decisions that are all self-inflicted that have led him to this point. And then you pile on the injuries, you pile on the Memphis Grizzlies losing, all with the extracurricular stuff that he's doing off the court. It's just not good, and it's just put a damper on it, kind of this part of his career. And I'm with Lou. I still think he can figure this out because I think he is that good. I think he is that talented. He is so explosive. He did say he's going to stop dunking and then did one of the sickest dunks like 2 games later. I don't know if I'll take that too seriously, but he is must-watch TV. He can still be an all-star type player in this league, no doubt. He's just got to be available, and he's not.
The marriage is stale, and there's only one way to fix that. You got to get out. And so, yeah, we'll see what happens. We're going to take a quick break. Our buddy, our pal, is waiting on the other side.
He made it.
There he is.
Bobby Portis.
Bets on you, Bobby. We was betting against you, Bobby.
Yeah, I lost, Bobby. I lost.
Run it back, run it up, run it back.
You ain't built like me, you ain't cut like this. Bobby Portis, Bobby, watch it. I look good on the top like this.
Hey, that's Bobby being Bobby right now.
Talk like this, yeah.
He is back. What's up, Bobby? Look, first of all, thanks for being on. I know you guys had a late landing, an early morning landing, if you will, back home. So we have not talked to you in a hot minute. How were your holidays?
In a minute. I've been ducking smoke with you. I've been ducking smoke with you, man.
They calm down a little bit.
They say I've been ducking smoke, man. They say I've been ducking smoke, man.
Do you have good holidays? Like anything great?
Yeah, everything was great. So I actually got a chance to go home for Christmas, and I haven't been home for Christmas since I was 19, my sophomore year in college. That Friday we were playing Memphis, and it's an 1.5-hour drive, so it's the day of Christmas. I asked Doc, could I just fly home and go home and hang out with the fam, have my grandpa come over, have some of my uncles come over, cousins, and it was a great time just to be able to be at the crib for Christmas. Obviously I got my mom's house renovated, so that was our first time as a family being able to go over there and hang out with my mom, at her fully new renovated house. So it was a great day for me for sure.
Awesome.
That's amazing, man. And Doc's really good with that type of stuff, allowing guys to be around family and kind of get that reset. But let's get into it, man. You guys are 5-3 since Giannis came back from injury. Obviously, y'all have had a lot of entertaining conversations going on over there. It's been eventful. So wellness check. What's the vibes like in the locker room? What's going on with the guys? Everything good? Where y'all at with it?
Yeah, everything good. Obviously it's tough when you come into a season, obviously thinking things are going to be a lot different. But at the same time, it's a long season, 82-game grind. So you got to just keep going, keep chopping wood, carrying water, and believing. I think everybody in our locker room is still on the same page and things like that. We just got to get over this hump where, we play these good teams and, we play good. And then when, we might play a team that's not so good, and then we kind of play down to the level of the competition. I think that's been our Achilles heel all season, just, kind of looking over teams and looking over, certain guys. And then, you get into these games and now it's a game that you should have been up already, and now you're in a dogfight going down the stretch, and then it's anybody's game. I think that's our Achilles heel for real.
Bobby, you've also been flying under the radar, especially from the trade ball this year, shooting 47%, which is third in the league. Now, when you start thinking about All-Star Weekend, if they invite you to shoot the three-point contest, are you there? Do you want to do that? Because third in the NBA, you certainly deserve to be there.
Yeah, I actually want to do it for real. Just being able to, give the
State
game,
your case. State
give
your
the
case right
contest.
now. State your case on that.
I'm just saying, like, just to be able to give the competition some different. Obviously, I think that you always have your, it's the normal guys in it, the Dame Lillards, the Steph Currys, the guys that people already know that can, shoot the ball. But if you look at Bobby Portis, people just think I'm just a tough guy that don't really score the ball for real. You feel me? Like, so to be able to get on the court and be able to show my skill level and what I can do, man, I really feel like I can go on the heater on there and really get a crowd something to cheer for.
Don't let you go and win it. Do not let you go and win it.
Man, for real, don't let me go and win it. They know we got to pop it a little bit. Know we got to pop it a little bit. We got to pop it a little bit. For real.
Let me ask you this, though, Bobby. You're 6 in points off the bench. You're 4th in rebounding off the bench. Like Chandler just mentioned, shooting the hell out of the basketball, 3rd and three-pointers right now. Is the 6th Man of the Year award, is that on your radar? That's something you want to make a case for, or you just stay in your grind?
Man, every single season, that's a part of my regimen, especially ever since I've been playing with the Bucks. That's just been my role, to come off the bench and be aggressive, shoot the shots that's available to me. Here lately, been getting a lot of more double teams, so we've been having to make the right reads out the post, make the right reads off DHOs and things like that. They've been coming doubling, so it's been fun this season. Obviously, I want to win more games. I feel like if you win more games, then your case is that much more, valid. But at the same time, just keep chopping wood, carrying water, keep going, and just keep staying aggressive.
Okay, I like to say that I've enjoyed this conversation because it's been about basketball, it's been about you, it's been about greatness, and now I get to ruin that. But we do need to just go ahead and address the elephant in the room. So since we talked to you last, there's obviously more sound, more smoke around the Giannis trade stuff. And then he came out and said, I will never ask for a trade out of Milwaukee. What'd that do for the team? Like, how are you guys handling just this constant sort of barrage of trade questioning?
Yeah, I think if it was my first or second year on the team playing with Giannis, then I would kind of be confused and not know and not understand what's going on. But being my 6th year playing with him, being my 6th year on the Bucks, I kind of understand the situation at hand, really. You just got to look at it. Obviously, our team isn't really playing that well like we should be at this point in the season. So with, obviously the trade deadline coming up and gearing up, obviously it's a hot topic. And, why wouldn't it be a hot topic when you just look at the type of player he is and what he did for the franchise already? So I kind of understand the totality of the situation. But, for the guys in our locker room, I think that, him just coming out and saying that kind of, eases some of the guys' mind just a little bit. Because, when you lose a game here in Milwaukee, you feel it. And when you lose a couple of games in a row, you really feel it for real. The expectation on this team has always been championship. The expectation isn't just to make the playoffs. So definitely when you lose one game or go on a skid or 2 or 3 in a row, you just feel it on your shoulders around here.
What is the dynamic? Like, I think of it as it's your office. So at our office, if I think Chandler's about to go somewhere, I'm like, hey, dude, are you leaving? Like, do you do that with Giannis? Or is it just sort of, no, that's his business and we just keep it moving?
I'm going to check in with you. Like, I've always been that type of teammate that I ain't scared to send you a little text message. If we got a WhatsApp, we can hop on a WhatsApp if you want to. You want to inscript it, we can hop on WhatsApp, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying?
Safe.
Like, you want to be safe, Like, I've always been that type of guy. Like, I need some information just to let me know what's going on, just so I know what you're thinking, and at the end of the day, it is a business. So we all want to make the correct moves and correct decisions for ourselves as well. So I always just try to stay in the loop with all my teammates, how they're feeling, whatever it is. And I've always been that type of teammate that if there's anything on your mind, anything that you're going through, you can come holler at BP, man. I've been through dang near every situation in the league for real. So, I always, like I said, I always been that type of guy that always checked in just to know what's going on. So that's just how I'm coming.
Did he respond? Like, does he respond right away?
Yeah, Yanni always respond to me. We always, keep it real with each other. We always have that open dialogue, and it's always cool, especially like when you're playing with a superstar caliber player. Obviously, like when we first make it to the league, we all want to be that all-star. We all want to be that type of guy that's the big dog on the team. But you kind of fall into your own niche and find your own niche on the team that can help a team impact winning. But at the same time, it's kind of cool just to had that open dialogue with one of the greats in the league at all times. So, I'm fortunate, and it's gonna be good, man. We just gotta keep going. I think our biggest thing is just trying to get better each and every day, just trying to build good habits, and look up and see where we're at.
That's what I want to ask you, Bobby. Like, does it weigh more on Giannis to have the constant trade rumors, or is it way more on someone like you or Kuzma that's name is also thrown in these deals every single day?
Man, I think it probably way more on the front office and the head and the coaching staff for real. Like us as players, like being in the league for 11 years and seeing dang near everything that can happen in the business. As a player, there's really only two things that you can control every day, and that's your attitude and your work ethic. So coming in each and every day to the gym, just having a pro mentality, just whatever's thrown your way, have the correct attitude about it. And then the work ethic is second to none. You got to have that work ethic to even stay in the league. So like I said, it's only two things that you can control. So I would feel like they probably way more heavier on, the front office and the coaching staff. They the ones that they got to make the super decisions to make changes on the team, what fits, what works. And, obviously, probably down the line, they probably have a even bigger decision. So, like I said, it probably weighs more on the coaching staff and the front office more than the players.
Yeah. Let's do a little video time. For us normal people, the fans, if you will, we assume that after a moment like this for Kyle Kuzma, like, I don't know, do you guys say anything? Because we're just like, oh, no. Or is this just business? We just keep it moving. No, he did not just turn around.
What's crazy, I didn't even know Kuz was going to even jump on that play for real. Like, I remember he turned the ball over right there, and I think Brandon Miller said a lot of, bad words on that play, too. So he said a lot of bad words on that play, too. So, definitely Charlotte, one of those teams that kind of, like, play weird. They pick you up, 2-2-1 press. They got all these guys that can really get baskets, Con Knipple, LaMelo, Miles Bridges, Brandon Miller. They got all these type of guys that can really score the ball. Even Colin Sexton, he averaging like 15, 16 as well. So they got a lot of different talent out there, but at the same time, I respect Kuz for even competing on that type of play. Sprint back on defense, trying to make a play on the ball. So got to give shout out to my boy Kuz for the extra effort.
It happens to the best of us.
It's gonna happen, man. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. There's so many games in the season, man. You play 82 games. Some of these guys are, you got to meet them outside the luncheon pad, man. You got to meet them outside that luncheon pad for real.
You're going to get caught up. If you do it, you're going to get caught up. Bobby, I want to ask you, man, because y'all have more dust-ups at the end of games than any team in the league, I feel like. Every other week, y'all having a dust-up after games. As you can see, this was in Chicago a couple weeks back, and there was a lot of confusion going on after this play. What did you think of this, and what made you think the Bulls were so pissed off about it?
Obviously the unwritten rule in basketball where, if a guy has to hold the ball after the game, if the game's already over. But I don't really understand it for real because, they had just shot a shot or whatever it was, right? And then what's the difference from the team that's losing just trying to keep shooting the ball from the team that's winning? going to go get a basket. So I guess when Yanni got the ball, and I'm looking at him dribble, and then he just took off running. I'm like, man, what is this dude about to do? Bro just came back from injury. You know what I'm saying? Like, this your first game, bro. So he took off and did it, and I waited till the shot clock said, to hop on the court, because now it's like a 30K, 40K fine if you touch the court. I'm not giving that away. You know what I'm saying? So once it happened, I ran on the court and boom, the shoulder check. I forgot who it was. I think it was Kobe White shoulder checked him. He turned around. He didn't know what was going on. Like, but it one of those moments. I think it happened a couple weeks ago too. I think LaMelo Ball might have stole the ball or something. It happened again. I guess everybody trying to get at the Bulls, man. Trying to get at the Bulls.
But I want to say, Gilbert Arenas said it, and I said it. I disagree with the unwritten rule. What you just said, the losing team can continue to compete, but the winning team got to just sit there and deal with it. I don't agree with that.
Hey,
there is a rule, but every once in a while, you like, hey boy, you better calm down.
After Giannis windmilled the ball, after Giannis windmilled the ball, Josh Giddey came back down and tried to shoot another one though. Like, if you look at the video, he came back down and shot like a half-court heave. Like, what's the difference,
He was just mad at that point.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he came down and shot another one.
I mean,
hey, but now, Bobby, if this happens to you guys now of the season, you can't get mad now.
It's happened to them. That's what I'm saying.
Bobby.
They've been on the other end of it.
You know you're gonna get mad,
I see the Bucks in a mix-up at the end of a game, man.
If you're down 12 and 2 seconds ago and someone goes away, I know you, but you're gonna get mad.
It's happening.
I'm going home, man. I'm going home, man. Right now, I'm going home, man. I'm going home. I'm gonna go home, kick my feet up. It might be another game on after hours, late night, West Coast, Lakers. Something might be playing. I'm gonna go watch Luka and Bron, man. I'm gonna go to the crib, cut the game.
God, you've changed, Bobby. You've changed. We don't even know you anymore.
Stay out the way.
You're so mature.
Hey, you getting old, but hey, BP, you getting old. Don't start that, man.
I want no smoke, man. I want no smoke. Only what time permits.
Bring back the old Bobby.
Time permits.
Yeah, no kidding. What's happening here? By the way, this is how long it's been since the Knicks won the Cup. We really haven't gotten to ask you this because a lot was made about the fact that they were not gonna raise a banner, which then made people think, well, okay, how's that make the other teams feel that did raise a banner? Did you have any thoughts on that?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. If I win that, I'm gonna raise me a banner. Why not? Why not raise
especially
a banner?
Especially for the Knicks. What are you talking about?
Yeah, like,
we said they should do something. Maybe not the banner, though, Bobby, but something. It has to be celebrated.
Just belittling the whole.
We got to make it mean something. We got to make it mean something.
Now I'm putting that
it's
banner up.
It's not like they got
dude.
9 championship banners up there either. Like, we're talking about the Knicks.
I'm putting that banner up only because there were 30 teams that had a chance to win a championship. Like, all 30 teams had the same amount of, opportunity to go out here and compete, go out here and, we talk about unwritten rules. Well, in these type of games, like, there isn't any rules. It's about who wins by the most points each and every game, point spread or whatever it is. So, like, you guys earn the right to raise a banner. You guys earn the right to pop pop it. Like, y'all earn that right to go out there and whatever y'all want to do, however y'all want to go about it, y'all earn that right. So, especially in, competitive sports, team sports, it takes all 12, 14, 15 guys to win championships, to win NBA Cups, to go all the way. So me personally, I would have wanted to see them raise a banner, especially being in a big market like New York, give the crowd something to cheer for, give them to, people come to the crowd, they might want to take them a picture of the banner, put it on their Instagram.
They may never get a
story.
championship one, Bobby. Like, the kids aren't going to, they don't know what they're going to get.
I guess they
by the way, the way
the championship, then I guess they may going to win the chip.
The way they ran on that court after that game, they were excited. It's very weird.
It's so much to go into winning the chip, though, man. You gotta have some luck along the way too, man, to win that chip,
Agreed.
man. You gotta have a lot of luck, man. It take a lot to win a chip, man.
Bobby, we've missed you. Good to have you back, and we'll talk soon. Thank you as always.
Thank you, Bobby.
I didn't duck no smoke either, man. It was just, time ain't permit, man. Time ain't.
No, we know. We got you. We'll be back.
Run it back, run it up, run it back.
Oh man, this is deja vu. So Anthony Davis on Friday said that there's ligament damage in the left hand. It could require surgery. There's the moment. He's going to get some second opinions, figure all that out. But even if he doesn't need surgery, he's still going to be out at least 6 weeks, Chandler. I feel like we started the season talking Mavs tank. We are now doing this again. Talk to me about this situation they find themselves in.
Yeah, it's bad. It's a bad beat, and Anthony Davis obviously is one of their star players, and with everything they've gone through now, and to have him out for the foreseeable future, it's not good for his trade value. It's not good for the season. So it feels to me like a full-blown tank. Also, could require surgery is kind of a weird terminology there, because either does or it doesn't, and sometimes you can choose to do like an excruciating or a lengthy rehab. Or you can just go ahead and do surgery and kind of nip it in the bud immediately. This kind of seems up in the air and kind of a vague comment, so I don't really understand what that means.
Well, he's doing this. He's finding more. I think he's probably going to hopefully find a doctor that's like, we don't have to do surgery.
I think this is just to listen. We're going to shop him as much as we can now, but obviously with him always being out of the lineup and banged up with the salary, which he's player options for $59 and $63 million. Like,
good for him.
He ain't getting any younger either, so it's tough. And again, this season's kind of a wash. You got Cooper Flag. Let's build around him. Let's get the best pick and kind of a top-heavy draft coming up. Get Kyrie Irving back, and they still have the pieces, the Gaffords, the PJ Washingtons that they can still pair with Cooper Flag, or they could even look and package those guys and kind of start around just building fully around Cooper Flag. But this is a tough blow to Anthony Davis, but it's just something that we kind of have to get accustomed to and used to and factor in that he's going to miss some time, throughout the season.
Dang. 6 more weeks, Lou. 6 more weeks. This is like bad
6
Groundhog
weeks,
Day.
regardless of surgery?
Regardless.
It's
just
not good.
it's tough. You hate to see him go down again, but it's kind of part of the story now of AD, right? It's just it's part of it. So, in 6 weeks, we'll see what the Mavs look like. Should they go in a full tank mode or what do you have? But, the bright spot is Cooper Flag. He's going to be the guy that you can give him the basketball like they've been doing and just see what you got and evaluate the rest of the guys that's on that roster, see who's worth keeping around to try to build in the right direction next season. You'll have Kyrie Irving coming back. You have some decisions to make with AD. You know what Cooper Flag brings to the table. It's other guys in uniform like PJ Washington that you gotta pay attention to, and so on and so forth. And so it's been hell for the Dallas Mavericks. Make no bones about it. It's been hell for the Dallas Mavericks. But as far as AD is concerned, we just gotta see. He's not available.
Man, that's a tough one. We're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna wrap things up on the other side.
Run it back, run it up, then run it back.
I love these. These are coming from the chat on YouTube, Lou and Chandler, and they're bucket or brick. So it's folks with their opinions wanting to get some answers from you guys. This one's for Lou. After Byron Scott called out KD for ring chasing, at Adam G, shout out, said, if LeBron called Lou, you're telling me you don't join the King to ring chase? Bucket or brick, Lou? Okay, Adam.
If he called me right now?
I mean, I'm assuming more
I
than.
get off the couch. Now, if he called me when I was active, I felt pretty good about where I was. So. But right now, I'm on the couch. I'm on my way, LA.
Good
question.
Wait.
So Adam, yes. Yes, everyone's doing that. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a good Monday.
They run it back, yeah.